Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I thought we were going another technical difficulty. I was a little worried about that. But anyway, I am live in New York at the hey Conrad, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah,
No?
go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, I hear
Okay.
you perfectly. Yeah.
So I'm live in New York. I'm here at the St. Regis Hotel, beautiful hotel. You guys gotta if you guys ever come to New York, it's great. Conrad, I'm not sure if you ever been here before, but it's
no, never. No, that's awesome. Yeah.
it's nice. It's got a lot of culture. It was built I guess 1904 or something like that. But
Nice.
the one thing I wanted, so what else? So the one thing I wanted to talk about, like, you're not going to believe this. Last night, I lose my cell phone, and I'm like, what the?
My worst nightmare.
So,
My worst nightmare is my.
I'm like, I didn't sleep all night. Like I do have a spare cell phone. I do. Like I always that's my second emergent. Like I always have two. Oh. So anyway, I was using that this morning. The only difference between the two phones is just the cell number. Otherwise, they're almost identical when it comes to everything. But yeah, that was a scary thought. So anyway, the reason why I'm in New York doing another barber commercial.
Cool.
And I stopped using her for a bit. Then I said, I'll bring her back alive again and, do some stuff. We're doing some different stuff online. But what I really want to talk about, Brian, interest rates. Like I was at a mastermind with a bunch of agents here in the U.S. and they're talking about high interest rates. And they put a pause on us. So, like, why is the U.S. still going up and we pause? Is this just kind of a temporary thing or what?
Well, I think their numbers are still really strong down there. They had the jobs report come out. There's about over 517,000 new jobs. That's a signal of massive strength in the economy. And their inflation number is still higher than ours, right? So the inflation hasn't come down as much as they were hoping for it to come down. So they're really bullish on raising rates. I read just this morning, they're calling for, they did a quarter last time, and they're actually calling, or no, they did they're actually calling for another quarter or a half at the end of March.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, are they in the 6% bracket right now?
Seven.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Well, the irony is that with us that with the differential between the two, we're going to see our dollar go down possibly, and then our inflation is going to kick up again because now imports will be more money. Like this thing is like look, there's fundamentals that are different. The U.S. you can mortgage on your the interest on your mortgage is a whole different thing. We can't do that here. But the reason they paused here, and my insiders told me, is the debt in the Canadian debt loads. Like our debt loads are way higher than in the U.S. So they really did this pause because they feel that once they feel that the hit on the economy when people start renewing their mortgages, and people will really pull back because they have high debt loads. So they have huge credit card debt. I don't know. I heard it hit like over $1 trillion in debt. We're like probably $1.80 per every dollar we take in. So it was all about Canadians' debt. Yeah.
So they know there's a big lagging effect on this, right? So I think the Bank of Canada did a good job in pausing the interest rates as to where it's at right now. And it also gives people some certainty right now as to know that it appears that we're at the peak of the rate cycle because they stopped raising them. So it's a good thing.
So do you think on the next announcement, they may do a little bit, a quarter or something like that? Or do you think we're going to be at this level for a bit?
Look, you got to, like Brian said, you got to look at the job numbers. You got to look at the inflation numbers. Like if our dollar really starts to tumble, you might see a quarter point. Like, so yeah, would I've loved to see a quarter point now? Yes, no, but probably yes. I'd probably go on the yes side and then say, okay, this is it. Let's pause. Like this yo-yo thing is really disheartening. I think, I think people just want to see some stability, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I've been seeing some people knowing that their mortgage is due coming up and their interest rate, it's going to be different. And they're all worried. They're like, a lot of them are like saying, listen, we can't afford this. We got to unload this house because our mortgage payment's going to be way too much than we can afford. And are you finding power sales are happening, Brian, or what's going on? Like, are they starting to trickle in?
Yeah, we're seeing powers of sale, but it's more so on the private lending side, right? So people that really leveraged up really high, they got high interest mortgages on probably a poor setup exit strategy, right? Like one of the mortgage broker's job is to make sure that if you're borrowing money at a high interest rate, the idea is like, how do you get out of it? You know, we end up saying it's like staying in a hotel. It's nice to be there for a little bit, but you don't want to live there. It's really expensive to live in a hotel unless you're wealthy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's at the St. Regis at the St.
Yeah, you live there, right?
Aren't all the hotels the same in New York City? I just happened to pick one. I went there.
But the thing is, it's interesting though. A lot of the prime lenders, like the banks and we call them monoline lenders, like First National, MCAP, ones that are really, really good lenders, they're not seeing the power sales or the issues. No. You know, their book is very clean. They're not seeing an increase of these people who are coming up for renewals that are losing their homes. Are people upset about it and pissed off? For sure. It's not great, but they're paying it. It's really that one segment of the market where you leveraged up, you got private mortgage, and maybe a little bit on the B side where you've got maybe a trust company because those rates went up significantly. But again, it's a smaller portion of the market that will get affected in this.
Yeah, CMHC did a report. Mortgage defaults are at an all-time low. Where they are seeing some cracks is credit card debt. They're seeing credit card debt, and those defaults going a lot higher. But people pay their mortgage on their own. Come on, I always say it's a sport. Like home ownership is a sport in Canada. No one wants to lose, so they're gonna.
They find a way. They just don't go to restaurants as much as they used to. That's all. Totally. Now, is that going to affect like people buying in the U.S.? Now, you guys own properties in the U.S. Like now, Brian, I know he's got a really good mortgage rate at
375. Yes,
375, and he thought he was getting burned when he did it, but now he's like laughing all the way. He's like he's doing the happy dance everywhere. But do you think the U.S. is going to feel a little bit of the Canadians just kind of unloading if they got mortgages down there?
Well, it definitely makes your investment go up, right? When you look at the dollar now, what it's trading at. Now, all of a sudden, you look at it and go, woo, you know, and I think it depends on luxury items. And we've talked about this. They're usually the first to go. If you've got an overseas property, vacation property, and if you're feeling it here, you're selling that first before you sell it home, right? So it's the last thing goes if your house. All the toys and all the other properties end up going first.
But the Florida market's so strong right now. They're seeing no inventories, and I just recently read an article that people took about 10 or 11% took their homes off the market and decided to rent them in Florida, where rental rates are up like 7% month over month. So people are now looking at those properties as an investment. Now in California, for instance, you know, rental rates are dropping because people are exiting. So there, it's a very different thing. There's a lot of strategy, you know, no tax states, more popular states. So you got to play that game a little different than you do in Canada. But I will tell you, their inventory numbers in Florida are low. So I don't see, even if they did have Canadians wanting to sell, it's not going to really make a big difference.
It's not going to hurt the state.
You have the whole northern states that are moving down there anyways too, right? You still have the aging population, and people from whether it's Buffalo, New York, or any northern state is going down to the Sunshine State too. So anything you lose from Canada as an investment, because I think it's a lot tougher to invest there, I think is more than compensated just in their own market.
Arizona too. Canadians that are in Arizona and Florida, those are the only vulnerable markets that there's a lot of Canadian owners, right? So that's
the ones that go to Arizona, they're the ones that have arthritis, I think.
Well, they're from Western Canada. They're Western Canada.
Because that's a dry heat. There's no moisture.
Right.
So guys, listen. Coming up, we got Win in Any Market. You guys are speaking like last time. We're 50% sold on March 29th. And we're doing it for 3 hours because the feedback was people wished it was longer. So it's going to be from 10 to 1. And we got great registration. We're over 50% sold.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm looking forward to it. And then we're going to have more of us because we had a panel last time and we didn't give enough people on the panel some time. So we're going to shorten that up a bit and we're going to add an hour and you guys were fantastic on your presentations. Like I got to tell you, like I'm going to keep using you guys, you guys. It's hard to find somebody to top you guys. You guys are awesome. So if any realtors are listening, I'm telling you, on March 29th, we're at the Ramada there, where the old Beacon used to be in Jordan Station in Lincoln. Come listen. I'm telling you, we're going to show you secrets. We're going to show you how to win in this market. We're going to show you everything. And right now, we know realtors, you know, it's uncertainty for realtors because it's different. I mean, it's like this business it's like a roller coaster ride in your mind. And so we can show you how to make it with also with AI, also how to make it with virtual assistants, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty good.
You know what, Rob? I'll say too, like to your credit on that, Rob, I think one of the favorite parts was when you took the podium at the last one, and everybody got to ask you questions. And I think, you know, for anybody watching,
and there'll be more time for me to sit there and chat about that, and you know, answer any questions that anybody has. We're gonna answer questions if people want. You know, a single agent just wants to start. I'll tell you the one thing here. The one biggest thing that is easy is getting leads. I'm going to tell you that. That's easy. And if an agent doesn't know how to do that, we'll show them. But the hardest thing is converting those leads into clients. And that's what we're going to show you, because leads are easy to get. There's so many companies out there. They're offering, you know, all this, you know, leads for you. They could say, hey, I can give you 100 leads a month. That's all. It's just converting them into clients. And we're going to show you that and how we do it and show you how to do it out there.
And Rob, on that, you know what the thing was, and I think everybody really realized that the transparency and you're an industry leader sharing, and you're all about all boats rise. And I think that's what I took away from it. And I'm inspired by your tagline, and I created a whole set of content on winning in any market. And you've done it. You've surpassed what's going on in the market in terms of the marketplace. You've done that. I know Brian has done that in his business, and I've done it in our business as a whole. So you inspired me. And I think this is the time that people have to make some hardcore decisions. Don't cherry pick, and really take what you're saying and absorb it and really introduce it into their business, because this is where things are going to change. That watering hole is going to get smaller. I keep saying it over and over again. We got to be better at the client experience. We got to be better at nurturing. But I got to say, Rob, you guys were the panel. What I learned from your guys on your panel at the different stages they are in their careers, what I learned from you, the transparency, like it's a winner. It's a real winner.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, and I learned from both you guys. I mean, you guys were great presenters, and I'll tell you, Conrad, like it does make a difference. Me being with your brokerage, I'll tell you, I mean, I'm not trying to toot your horn, but I kind of am a little bit, because, but I'll tell you, the great thing about, and you got Broker of the Year too. Was it Broker of the Year? Listen, you don't get that for no reason amongst all the Remax brokers in North America or whatever. But the thing is, I appreciate what you do for us at the Golfi team. I'm telling you, the support that we get is unbelievable. So if you're listening to this, guys, listen, I'm telling you, you gotta make a phone call. You either come see us at Win in Any Market and learn what we do, or give Conrad or myself a call and have a sit down with us and just see what's right for you and what works for you. So
I got to echo that too, because the collaboration just between the three of us is unparalleled from anywhere else I've seen. It's and the transparency too, like you said, Conrad. It's nice and it's refreshing, because I've been to events before where they say a lot's going to be shared and there's a lot of fluff. But when you were talking, you were very authentic, Rob. And Conrad, you're always authentic with it too. But it's like drinking from a fire hose. You're getting a lot of knowledge, right? Yeah. So I think it's really, really good.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Looks like our time is running out. And I just want to say thanks for being on. And guys, we'll see you next week. And have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Ciao.